Okay, today I want to discuss forecasting. I know we're coming up to the end of 2018. A lot of companies are planning their 2019 budget, their projects. So let's kind of get into forecasting and some things you should be thinking about if you're not about cybersecurity. So let's hack at it. Okay, so like I mentioned, a lot of companies are reviewing the 2018, their projects, their budgets, what was deployed, implemented, and kind of what's left over for now to uh, move to 2019's project plans and budget. And then what's going to be new for 2019? What are we looking at as a company, for example, uh, different security policies, projects, things we have to look out for. So there's a lot of things that different areas, let's kind of put that way, that I would recommend companies look at. And this is specifically for mid-sized companies. I know large enterprise environments are already doing this. And of course, if you want to listen in just to kind of go through a checklist, but this is for more mid-sized companies that might not have a specific cybersecurity person to provide them a checklist, an overview of what you should be looking at. So let's talk about a year in review. So first for 2018, have you reviewed your policies and your procedures? So you look at administrative controls, uh, governance. Have you reviewed them? Have you reviewed them? Are they up to date? Has your team gone through cybersecurity awareness training? Like all that stuff. Are you up to date? Next is, okay, what has to be implemented for 2019? Is there any changes? Is there any updates they have to do with any of your administrative control? So this is like your acceptable use policy, your disaster recovery, your instant response, all these types of documents. Maybe you have HIPAA compliance, PCI compliance, uh, GDPR, PIPEDA. So all these administrative controls, have you reviewed them? And what's the plan for 2019 to make sure they're up to date? Next is you look at your technical controls, your appliances, your firewalls, your unified threat management tools, your router switches, hubs, your endpoint security, your anti-malware, antivirus. Just trying to think if there's any other controls I can think of, but I mean, you get the idea. How are those controls for 2019 or 2018? And then what are you going to be doing for 2019 to make sure that you're maintaining them? They're up to date. They've been patched properly. Um, you might have to look at, updating because maybe you're at the end of life of some of your hardware, your appliances, and then you're looking at, refreshing. Maybe you're looking at even refreshing some of the technology, right? Because maybe you've updated some solutions, some cloud services, and the old technology that you had doesn't secure your cloud services or doesn't secure maybe your database or your website like you want it to. So you're looking at different solutions, right, to now implement for 2019. Then now you have to look at budget. So what's your budget for all this, and how can you do it for the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, and how can be that planned out for? And here's the things that people have to think about, and I'm sure you've thought about that, but if you haven't, you got to look at the actual cost of the technology, total cost of ownership, right? Which includes like the actual purchase of it, the maintenance, support, and then maybe you need installation, having resources in-house or hiring someone for professional services that can help you do the installation and maintenance and support and updating and patching, right? And then you look at monitoring. Some of these tools need someone to monitor it. So are you looking at a 24/7 monitoring? Are you looking at having some sort of SOC, which is a security operations center, monitoring it? So for example, if you're looking at malware detection or threat detection, that someone's monitoring constantly, so what happens if there's ever a breach or something that's out of the norm, that you can see it and go, okay, they report it, there's an SLA, and they go through that. So these are some of the things that I recommend you look at for your security, and especially with security constantly evolving, constantly changing, it should be at the top of your mind of projects that you're looking for 2019. And I highly recommend, and you don't have to use myself, use someone that you know that's a security expert to get in those conversations, right? To be part of that, because they're thinking about this day in and day out, right? Especially someone that's in the field, right? An IT person that does security, right, as part of their role is not bad, but there's things that they might miss just because they're so busy. It's not because they're not intelligent. It's not because they're not uh, trying to keep up on all the security processes, vulnerabilities, technology. They just don't have the time. And that's the honest truth. And I've heard that time and time again with IT professionals that do security on the side. They can't cover everything. So having a team, a person or a team that you can connect with and be able to collaborate with, have them part of the conversation, find out information for you, be part of that conversation for your 2019 forecasting is so important to make sure that you maintain your security posture and you're looking at, being proactive in your security versus, and we've heard this is where companies are reactive. They're sitting there going, oh yeah, don't worry, we're going to do that in Q3, and also in Q1 they get hacked, right? They get compromised. And now it's everything from Q3 now comes up to Q1, and they have to do it now because it's incident response versus a project plan where they can take their time with. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to keep it strategic and more informative. Again, as I do these videos, I'm going to help you talk about security, cybersecurity, cybersecurity policies, procedures, technology, solutions, and just keep having the conversation because I think it's so important that it's front of mind and we talk about it like frequently. If it's not weekly, it's monthly at least. That's always in front of your mind, the things you're thinking about. So that's it for today's video. Don't forget, software is hackable, being connected is vulnerable. I'll see you next video.